Okay. So this is going to be my first live stream on YouTube. So I think I can learn from this live stream than waiting for when I will do uh, all these recorded videos, then upload later. But at least now you can always um, hear me live, and I have used the opportunity to send message. You can type in message on the comment section, the live, or more like the live chat, not the comment section. There's a column where you can type in your questions, and I'll respond to that. So the live stream is basically going to be on Pojo. I just respond to Pojo questions, and if I have anything regarding Pojo I want to talk about, then I'll also say it here. And then you also have the opportunity to call while we are on the while we are live. Um, Now I've done some things to make it easy. However, some of those things I've done are not yet ready. For example, now for you guys to call and people who are watching the video live to hear the caller, it's not going to be loud if the caller is only speaking from the phone directly. So to do that, I had to get a device that will be able to connect with the phone, and then the audio will be loud enough for the viewers to hear whatever the caller is saying on the phone while I also respond. So I've ordered for the device that will make it happen. It's going to take some days. Honestly, I thought by now it's supposed to have arrived, but it has not. So hopefully by Monday, yeah, the device will be here so that you can call while you know I'm online, or the live stream is on. So you can call, people will hear you. I can also respond right away. So the phone number that I'm giving out is specifically for WhatsApp or Telegram. So you can send, while we are here, we can send a WhatsApp message to that line. I'm going to tap out the number on the chat now. So let me see. Hold on. Okay, so that's the WhatsApp number you can call. But please let it be only audio call, or you send a WhatsApp message. Either you send the message on this live screen, or you call the WhatsApp line, and audio, please. And so we can, if you want to call the number, just let it be a WhatsApp call. And if you can afford to call with the normal, with the normal airtime, fine, go ahead and do that. However, like I say, for now, if you call, the viewers may not be able to hear you, but I'll still respond. I'll probably explain your questions. Okay, so for those who are not looking at the screen, the number is +234 80 957 217 03. Again, +234 80 957 217 03. Okay, now I know I've done a video before concerning VCC engine misfire, rough idle that users, especially in Nigeria, do experience. I'm on my fourth Pojo V6 engines. So I have honestly for years I've had experience various ways concerning those engines. So I know there are shortcomings for those of us here in Nigeria, and one of them is rough idle misfire, uh, which I've come to realize over the years is caused by the quality of fuel we use in Nigeria. So, so yes, if you are buying a V6 in Nigeria, a Peugeot V6 engine, irrespective of the age, you are going to have that experience, or at least once in a while, during your ownership, it's going to happen, and you'll be surprised that you do all kinds of diagnosis, you won't be able to find the culprit. You may end up changing parts without actually getting the result. People like to throw in parts, just keep changing parts, thinking that's the fault. Now, I made a discovery. I did a video, but I'm going to share that secret on this live stream. So I made a discovery. Before now, I've always been buying fuel from all various kind of petrol stations in Nigeria. Name it, this one, that one, and it doesn't matter. I probably may have to start calling out the names, at least one or two. For example, I used to buy from the NNPC mega stations, and the misfire just kept uh, no day, or let's just say no 2 or 3 days will pass without the car all of a sudden will start to rough idle. Sometimes misfire, but most times rough idle. You understand what rough idle means. You realize that the car engine will be running, but not smoothly. You try to accelerate, it's making such all kind of sound like um, ka 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 ka. I don't know if this sound explains it or describes it very well. But if you're because misfire is actually different from rough idle. So but most times it's actually the rough idle, especially my 505 V6. To tell you that it's not just about the modern Peugeot V6 engine. Even my old 1986 Peugeot 505 V6 go through that issue as well. However, its own comes in a different way. Usually, the rough idle usually comes up cold start. Most especially in the morning when I started the first time, it rough idles. Then after like 2 minutes or so, it goes away. So to cut it short, eventually circumstances now led some months ago, I started buying fuel from only one station, only one company, if I would say that. They have various branches, the petrol filling station scattered everywhere, all parts of Nigeria. So I just started buying only from that station, only for me to realize all the misfire went away. I would say my 505 V6 has been parked for a while. It's going through a project, but my other project car with the same similar V6 engines, they started the old misfire went away. The whole rough idle went away. Earlier before now, I will always pull out every once in a while. I will remove the fuel injectors. What Nigerians call service. I flush them. Clean off. Hopefully, thinking that there will be dirt or sludge inside, so I'll clean them up, put them back. Sometimes it fixes the rough idle. Sometimes it still doesn't go away. So now they've gone. What is that company that I've been buying from? And that is Total. Total Nigeria, Total PLC, call it whatever I want to call it. Yes, so that's the secret. So if you own a Peugeot car with that engine, or you intend to do any Peugeot car with petrol V6 engine, you are going to be having this misfire issue. It's just the quality of fuel in Nigeria is bad. So the Total petrol has fixed that problem for me. It's over about roughly 3 months now. So I would say 90 days have passed, and like I said, at least two of my project cars are with these V6 engines. No misfire, unlike before. like I said, every 2, 3 days. In fact, at the point I stopped bothering clearing the ECUs, erasing the fault. There's no point. You erase it 1 hour or 2 hours later, check engine light is back. It gives you that misfire, it misfires, switch off, start again, it goes, so I stopped. So, for example, my 406, honestly, it got a point, the check engine light stayed on for close to 1 year. You know, what's the point? I know why it's on. So, why would I keep worrying myself to clear it? But now, when I started using only total petrol, uh, total fuels or total petrol, it just all of a sudden, about 2, 3 days after I started doing that, or let's just say after like 1 week, I used it constantly. The check engine light went off on its own. I never came back till now, which is, like I said, 90 days have passed. So that's the secret. Now you could be saying, okay, what about other Peugeot engine users? Would they not benefit from it? It's possible. Well, it's just that those other engines, four-cylinder engines, hardly have this rough idle misfire issue. However, I would say because those other fuels are that bad, they tend to create a lot of carbon inside the combustion chambers, on the valves, the exhaust, the intake valve, most especially the intake valves. You find a lot of carbon deposit, behind the valves. So then the combustion chamber as well, on top of the pistons, the other side of it, the valve where the valves are, it creates a lot of carbon. So sometimes it disturbs some of these engines, even though they not misfire. They do misfire, so but not compared to that of V6. So some of them, when you started them in the morning, they rough idle. Sometimes if you try to accelerate, the engine goes off. You have to start it again, wait for a while until. So in fact, most people in Nigeria, they have no option than to start the car, to leave it to run for close to 30 minutes before they can drive off, so that the engine doesn't stall. By stalling, I mean engine doesn't go off when you try to move the vehicle. Those are caused by carbon buildup most of the time. So quality of fuel is usually the cause, among other things, but quality of fuel. So that total petrol can actually help. Now, the way I'm saying it may sound as if total fuel or total petrol in Nigeria is the only best. No, I'm not saying that. I'm telling you the one I have discovered. Now, I'm not also saying total petrol is better. It's not like it's better or that total petrol is not bad. It's possible it's not the quality they want of the fuel they sell in Nigeria or petrol they sell in Nigeria is not compared to that of the ones they sell outside Nigeria. But at least compared to what other petrol that I've been buying from other companies in Nigeria, I think the total one is okay for me for now. I mean, as long as it cures my rough idle misfire, I don't care anymore. I understand that total, maybe if you guys are listening or virtually somebody who knows or have access to total management, you know, guys, you guys have to sit up because your staff are messing up your company. I'm being honest here. If you guys are going online or actually talk to people, see people complain a lot about total. Your staff, they cheat people a lot. When people go drive in to buy fuel, some of your, I don't know what do you call them? Is it the attendants or those guys that dispense fuel from those for pump dispenser, fuel dispenser, whatever I want to call it? They always try to play some tricks, and if you're not careful, they will cheat you. Instead of buying 5,000 naira fuel, you may end up buying getting 3,000 naira fuel. I mean, I've experienced it. This is first-hand experience. So it's one of the negative side for now. Buying fuel from Total, they do it a lot. So I'm not saying they are pump, the quantity of fuel of total one is worse than the others. In other words, what they call pump. Um, what's the right word now? Just say a liter. Okay, let's just use a simple explanation. A liter of fuel of the total. I'm not saying it's higher than the others or it's lower than the other from the other stations or other companies. But I'm saying if you're not careful, you may give them money to buy 10 liters and you may end up getting 7 liters or 5 liters most times. Trust me. It's also, you guys need to sit up and start dealing with your staff that try to bring your company down because people are complaining and it's not like they are lying. People going online saying those things. And even personally, you hear it offline. So it's possible there could be other petrol stations or other companies that also sells good fuel or better quality petrol in Nigeria, but you have to figure it out. I've told you the one I know. For 3 months now, going to the 4th month, no misfire on my Peugeot V6 engines, which has been a peculiar, a constant issue for a very long time, for years. I'm not talking about months, I'm talking about years of this issue, So I've cracked it. Now you can benefit from it. Now, there's other things I also may need to mention. If you don't, in as much as the total petrol can also stop the misfire on the V6 engine. This V6 engine, especially the ES engine, that V6 engine you find in Peugeot 406, 407, 607, 807, what else? The rocker cover or the cylinder head cover tends to leak. Those seals there tends to get weak, probably from 100,000 kilometers beyond mileage. They tend to start leaking. So try and get those things resealed. If you don't do it, they tend to also cause those misfire. Because what usually happens is when those oils start coming out, they settle on the ignition coil chamber. And also the oil will eventually find its way down on top of the spark plugs. And once that happens, you won't be able to, the spark plugs tends not to work well. And you start getting those rough idle or misfire. And even those cylinder head covers that start leaking, if you don't fix them, they also increase fuel consumption. Additional air start going in and you start messing up the combustion. So I advise you do that. I've done a video where I talked about where you can get a quality one. I don't know if I actually have done that video, but I think I've done that. So I'll suggest, don't waste your money for now, unless you have I don't know, maybe. The reason why I'm putting it this way is I've bought so many of them and tried so many of them sold in Nigeria. That is the RTV silicone gasket maker, the one we locally call black gum in Nigeria. They sell quite a number of them and they don't work. It's just a question of a week, sometimes 2-3 days later, oil start popping out from the same place. But most time worse than it was before you did the sealing. So, but I eventually took the bold step, buy the bullet and ordered from outside Nigeria. Did it as early as November last year on one of my Peugeot cars, this V6 engine. Till now, no leakage. I've done it on the second one. I think it was in May. No, not May. Either May, April or May or something like that. Till today, still no leakage. So I will advise you to go ahead and do that. Order from outside. What I'll do is probably one of these live stream, I'm going to include the link of some of the quality RTV gasket maker you can order from outside Nigeria, and then which use it to do it permanent. Well, at least if it can serve you for another 5 years, um, or another 100,000 kilometers before they start leaking again, it makes sense compared to the ones that won't even last you a week. And yes, they cost more. For example, once they sell in Nigeria, I think the average price is about 300 to 400 naira. I'm not sure there's anyone maximum 500, but just average of 300 to 400 naira. Well, it doesn't make sense because they are cheap. You buy it and put only for it to start leaking the next day. So the ones you buy outside Nigeria, those quality ones cost us high as 2,000, 3,000 naira per tube. So, and that one tube, for example, one tube can actually serve you for the whole engine to seal up, unless it depends on how the degree of or how many things you need to seal. But one is actually enough from what I've done, maximum two. If let's assume you are removing the cylinder head and that aluminum that holds the camshaft, that you also want to do that one, it may take about two. So if you are buying, I'll suggest you, like I said, I'm going to post a link, but I know one of them is Permatex. Permatex, that's the brand of the RTV silicone gasket maker. One of the brands is Permatex. You can order it, you find it on eBay. The other ones on AliExpress, but those ones are not a popular name, but some of them are good. However, if you are looking for one to buy, always look at the maximum temperature that it can handle, because that mistake most people do when they buy it here in Nigeria, they don't read the instructions. When you when you apply that silicone gasket maker, popularly known as black gum in Nigeria, please read the instruction. The instruction master will tell you, apply it, wait for 10 minutes or so, then tighten it again, and then leave it for another 12 hours or so. Don't see the way I did mine. I actually left them for like 2 days. Of course, I have more than one car, so each time I did those ones, I will do it. I won't touch that car till it not almost like 3 days after before I'll start the engine. So I'll do it at my house, do everything, leave it. If I had to disconnect the battery, I would go ahead and do that. Do it, leave it. Don't even crank the engine. Allow it to dry off there for like 2-3 days. But at least it says about 24 hours maximum. But in my case, I left it for close to 36 hours or 40 something hours. What's the point? I can have other cars I can be using, you know. But I realize that when people take their cars to mechanic workshop and they have it done, less than 30 minutes, they'll start the engine again, and it will mess up the entire thing, because those, that's why they call it gasket maker. It's not really a gum, it's gasket maker. When you do it, it will take time to form another gasket there and seal up the place. But when you don't allow it to form the gasket, it won't be able to hold the oil. The oil will just pass through. It won't be, because it has not actually formed. Another thing you need to look out for is when you are buying it, look at the instruction on it, on the pack of that gasket maker. Some of them, their temperature they can handle, they are too low for engine oils, especially the ones on the engine. Engine can get as hot as, I don't even want to go there. Can get very, very hot. So the ones I normally buy is the one that at least that can handle up to 340 degrees Celsius. Hot. Yeah, can be, some may not even take up to 100 degrees Celsius. Well, why would you apply it when your engine will go beyond, get as hot as 200 more, So get one that can also actually, be able to handle that kind of heat without breaking down. So always look at the label. You will see it. They always put it there. Just that people don't know, don't pay attention. You see it there, 200 or whatever. So if it's up to 300 and something degrees Celsius temperature, then it will serve you. You can go ahead for that. So like I said, even if you are buying fuel from Total petrol station in Nigeria, you still need to make sure, especially for V6 users, Pojo V6 users, make sure there's no leakage there. If it's there, it won't really help your cylinder head cover, because oil will always be coming out there and be messing out your spark plug. So it won't work. Sometimes it will damages the plug. Even when you remove it, clean off the oil, this plug has already been affected. Sometimes it also affects the ignition coil, but for those VCs, ignition coils doesn't really affect them that much. So, but okay, let me quickly. I think some message I want to attend to. I received a WhatsApp message. When was it? Earlier today or so. Yesterday, I've forgotten. Okay, this is a WhatsApp message I received. Say, hello, Mr. Ikenna. Good evening. I saw your post on Pojo 206 on YouTube. I wanted to acquire a Pojo 207. So I'm doing some research when I came across your upload. What can you tell me about the car? Okay. So Pojo 207 succeeded Pojo 206. When was it? I've forgotten the production year, but I know it's sometime 2007 or so. Forgotten. That's the production, when the production started. So now Project 207 still have one or two engines you will find that the Project 206 we are produced with, like TU3JP, that's a 1.4 liter engine that is you find common in Peugeot 206. The one Nigerians call 206 engine, So, and then you also have TU5JP4, that's a 1.6 liter petrol engine that is very common in Peugeot 307. Then they are now also introduce a newer engine to the ones that Peugeot 206 had, like the THP engines, like THP 150. That THP is the turbocharged petrol engines you find like in 308, 508, and the rest. Though the one in Peugeot 206, 207, mostly THP 150 and THP, is it 170 something? That's for the GT1. Is it GT or GTI 207? The one that is meant for sports. Some other engines, forgotten the name, is it ET3 or something? So there are some other engines you find there that are not that common in 206. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this engine thing is you need to understand that the maintenance, when you are buying a 207, if you are choosing to buy one that the engine is different from that of 206, then the maintenance cost of that particular 207 will be higher than that of 206. For example, if you are choosing to buy, I think there's another one that has what's the name of this engine? VTI 120 is a EP6 engine. You also find that engine in 308, and the rest is 1.6. Like I said, petrol. All these things I'm saying are petrol engines. I don't know much about the diesel ones. So you find out that the maintenance cost is higher. For example, the VTI 120 runs with timing chain, not the timing belt. It requires high quality engine oil. Unfortunately, it's not easily available in Nigeria, though you can get it from Pan, Kaduna. So used to be there's one mobile one that is recommended, mobile oil that is recommended. Unfortunately, it's not always available in Nigeria. In fact, today I actually went to mobile fuel station to check for the availability for a client, and fortunately, it was not. So it's not always available. So, and so many things like if you are buying THP engine, it's a very good engine, but then there are variable parts on it that will cause when they fail. For example, the turbocharger, the high pressure fuel pump. They have more power and everything. What I'm saying is It's not a bad engine. It doesn't mean, but most people, when they go with that mindset of 206 and they upgrade to 207, and when something eventually, because things wear out eventually, they start complaining. So 206 is a very good car. They have some minor differences, not minor, in fact, a little bit major to some extent, the mechanicals and then. So if you want to maintain, to run a 207 with the maintenance cost of for the 206, then I would suggest you go for the ones that have the 206 engines. Of course, there are other things that are different, the disc, the braking system, the electricals, but those things will really matter as long as I don't abuse them. For example, um, the BSM, that the engine bay fuse box, is different, but it's available. It's not. I don't think it's even more expensive than that of 206, Peugeot 206. That's the late model Peugeot 206 that use similar fuse box. I could go on and on. It's a very good car. To me, I prefer 207 to 206. Not that I will buy, but I'm saying in terms of, if you can afford 206, get it. If you can afford 207, go for it rather than 206. It has more gadgets, and well, I know I've driven one. I've driven one, though doesn't really have much power, but it was okay. I've driven one with the 1.4-liter engine, which is THP, no, which is TU3JP. It was okay, honestly. It was moving as if it was even lighter than 206. It was very quick. Not quick like VC. I'm not going like a sporty quickness, but I'm saying, I was impressed. That's what I'm saying. So you won't really feel that is underpowered when you are driving it. So I would suggest, if you are after economy or you don't have much, if you believe that you don't want one that will cost you more to maintain, that one you should go for. So yeah, it's a very good car. I would always recommend it, but then understand that the maintenance, if apart from the engine, there are some electrical abuse 206 will tolerate than 207 will not tolerate. 207 is more complex, more advanced electrically than the 206. What it means is every diagnosis that has to be done there has to be electronically done, as long as there's anything to do. It has to do with electrical. When I say electrical, it's not just about your radio. It's not just about your opening the door and closing your door windows. No, what I'm talking about, anything that has to do with even your engine is electrical control. Your braking system is electrical control. So all these things you have to just get a scan tool. I always recommend professional scan tool known as PP2000, Peugeot Planet or Direct Boss. Just go and get it. If you have other professional scan tool, fine. Go and get it. It does, so I will have to end up complaining here and there that your mechanics are killing you when you could have avoided it. Get it. All this is I'm saying. And also, once you plug that scanner or that diagnosis tool, anything that has to do with anything that has electrical connection, it will come up on the screen. If it's bad, it will tell you it's bad. I will tell you exactly where the problem is, or at least give you an idea, or limit it for you to now do further diagnosis. So it's a very good car, and it's more like a smaller 308 T7 T7 308. So that's all I can say about that car. I think I don't have any other thing to talk about now. So this live stream, I intend to be doing it daily, but I'm not making any promises. So hopefully tomorrow, on weekends, I'll try to be doing it on daytime, but on weekdays, it's probably going to be evening time. I can't give you a schedule that, this is the scheduled time I'll be doing it daily. I can't do that because I'm always very busy. So it's when I have time, I'll do it. But it depends. If you want to know, because if you are, I know some, depending, if you find it interesting, you may want to know when it starts so that you can be able to participate or um, pose your questions if you have. The only way it will be easier for you to do that, I think, when if you subscribe to the channel and then subscribe and press the or choose the notification option. Whenever I come online, you get that notification to join. However, on weekdays, it's likely going to be in the evening time. I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. You know, we'll see how it goes. As it starts, I'll probably may find a more convenient time that I'll just choose. But for now, yes, hopefully I'm doing it daily. Weekends, maybe in the morning time or so, probably from 9 p.m., not 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. All depends. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm able to do it more than once in a day. It's all about popping up my system and start talking. When I'm done, I close it. If you are online, you benefit. If you are not, I think automatically it will still upload, and anyone who couldn't watch the last stream can go back and watch it at his own time. So I have a lot of things I would like to be talking about on this live stream. Most of so many things I will be sharing here. A lot of secrets on how you can actually enjoy Project Car, a lot of questions. And then, so if you have any question concerning Project Car, you want to buy a Project Car, you want to do this, you want to do, I would suggest you send it to this WhatsApp number that I posted as a message. So whenever I come online for this live stream, I will lead those messages out. If it's only one, depends. If it's one that I've tweeted before, I probably may just send you a link right there in the WhatsApp message, to go and read it rather than talking about it again. If it's something that is worth talking about on the live stream, I'll do it. But don't call after I'm done with the live stream because I will not respond. If you want to call, you have to wait till I come online. As I'm talking like this, if you call on this WhatsApp line, I'll pick it up, we'll talk. Everybody will hear, and then it ends. Like I said, as soon as that device comes in, it will be easier for anybody who wants to watch to participate or call, ask his question, so other people will hear it. So we'll see how it goes. And photo cards are very nice. I wouldn't even say nice, honestly, because those cars, sometimes people use it just for, they are just good cars. They are good cars, and I love the ones I love among them. I would be lying to you to say, oh, I love all the project cars. No, I don't. You know, I just love the ones that are more built for fun, not just performance. You know, some may have all the performance packages, but it's not necessarily as that fun to drive. While some are. So the ones that I love, the ones you see me have, and some of them I used before. Some I don't have, but I always appreciate them whenever I have the opportunity to do it online or offline. So I know some people are scared. A lot of people are scared to own one because of what they read online. People saying they are so bad, blah blah blah, not reliable, blah blah blah. The best I can do is to tell you how not to experience those things people are claiming. You can choose to ignore it. You can choose to. I don't experience those things, so that's the best thing I can do for you. Um, I don't know. Probably in future I may get a quality camera. Laptops don't really come with good quality webcams. I may get a quality one. And also, I've been trying to see if I can be using thumbnail instead of using visual or video. So I can see. Just use thumbnail. It makes sense. Then eventually, too, also we'll see how it goes. I have so many things to concerning this live stream to see how it goes. And take it from there. Okay, so that's the end for this live stream.